currently I'm using no camera nor headphones. I've got my fiance here chilling with me today, watching as I would like to. So if anything, I do apologize if crazy conversations happen, but it's gonna happen, so just deal with it.
Yeah, the no camera thing was my request. I don't want to be on camera, so.
If you guys can hear that, that's cool. If no, okay.
Yeah, I wasn't that loud. My bad.
Just doing my normal thing, getting my shares in through Facebook and Twitter. I wish I could figure out a way to get it to share to other things, but I can't.
Do not reply out loud.
I don't understand. Anyways, we're gonna start now that I've got everything started. I don't care.
I don't care either, but
Right.
I'm gonna ask.
It's proper. So this game looks absolutely legit, just FYI. If anybody doesn't know who this is the Who. They're a Mongolian metal band, and they're absolutely wonderful.
The graphics, not gonna lie, are
Sexy
awesome.
as fuck,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. And you know me, I'm all about visuals, so like...
And like I told you, this game's, for anybody who doesn't know, if you've ever played Dark Souls or Bloodborne, this game is exactly what you need in with a difficulty. So if you guys are trying to ease into those kinds of games that are like pure terror for your soul, this is the game to start with.
An error has been detected on line 10A.
It's
Power
full of
clamps
shit.
are jammed. I need 2 workers to climb up and secure the cables.
It's also, from my perspective, who doesn't... So, background for anyone watching, I don't play video games, I watch them. As a hobby, is I watch video games like they're movies.
Okay.
From what I've seen, it's very cinematic, which is a plus to those who are like myself.
I'm right behind you.
Because games like Dark Souls and Bloodborne, or, let me think of some others. What are you playing right now?
Star Wars?
Besides Star Wars, like, actively playing.
Oh,
Or like Destiny, Halo, those type of games, they're not quite as...
Kingdom Hearts is another good one though, that is cinematic.
Yeah, so like Destiny, Halo, Call of Duty, those aren't quite as cinematic as where like this and this and what was I trying to say? Kingdom Hearts. Those type of games are more cinematic, so if you're on the cinematic side of things for video games, this is definitely for you to watch.
Definitely agreeable on that one. I took a little sneak peek at playing this game yesterday at launch. I also kind of got drunk, so it was kind of one of those things where I didn't really want to play while intoxicated because I was already at that point of like, oh god, I don't really want to do this. So that's why I didn't stream yesterday. The night before I didn't stream because
I asked him not to because I'm needy.
That and I was kind of being a depressive little shit, so...
Valid. But usually if you're not streaming, it's because I'm being needy.
Easy there.
That and what I had talked about when it comes to the streaming regularly, I won't be doing that as much as I want to. I'll be doing it more frequently, because I had only been doing it weeks at a time, like once a week, once every couple weeks, but now I'm going to do it like maybe 2 or 3 times a week. I wanted to do it every day of the week, but that's definitely a no-go for me in heaven, so I'll be doing other things. So
I would be here for the streaming if the camera wasn't involved, because I don't necessarily want to be on camera.
right.
So like,
I can make it a weekly thing where you can just add in commentary and shit.
yeah,
Because like I'm down. I love this
like
kind
I'll
of shit.
sit here and watch you play.
No need to
if
come out and say hi this time.
I don't have to be on camera. Like I would sit through every stream you do and just like talk. But I just don't want my face on camera.
I mean, I can remove the camera altogether. Like, it doesn't bother me at all. Like,
Yeah, but you like it, so like I'm not gonna ask you to change everything for me.
it's at this point.
Trial and error to see what works, what doesn't, type of thing.
Yeah, that and just like, oh shit.
Oh. Damn.
Okay, that did
I
not.
really was just about to say like. So yesterday he had mentioned, because he was showing me like the mechanics of the game, he's trying to get me into playing with him. I'm just not like a super like game type person, just because like I have motion sickness and most video games cause the motion sickness for me. But he was trying to get me involved and like show me things that I might like, because I do really like Bloodborne and Assassin's Creed. So like I was gonna mention, you were really right with like the parkour style, and it's very similar to like the first few Assassin's Creed games.
Yeah.
Gives me very like Ezio vibes of jumping on walls and stuff. The same kind of mechanics there.
Right. No, I love it. And what's great is like adding in that style of parkour. Because I mean, if anybody doesn't know what that is. That's if you guys ever watched, was it 5 or 6? It was when the death of Jango Fett. I'm trying to remember if it was 6. No,
Wait,
5. It was
who?
5. When Jango Fett died because they were trying to free Han Solo. I think that was 6 actually. Very beginning of 6, because it was right after Luke Skywalker was attuned with his...
So, not gonna lie, I don't remember that.
It was 6, because it was after he trained with Yoda, which was 5.
Okay, yeah, no, you're right. I was about to say, I don't think I've seen that, but now I know what you're talking about. Because I've seen all the classics, the original ones, and then I've seen The Force Awakens. And then after that, I still haven't seen, like...
The first few.
So I've seen The Force Awakens, and then I haven't seen...
You haven't seen 1 through 5.
No, I've seen the original trilogy.
So you've seen 5, 6...
Yeah, I've seen 5, 6, 7, and 1, 2, 3.
No, it's 4, 5, 6.
Right, no. Let me speak. 5... Wait, it's 5, 6, 7, or...
No, 4, 5, 6, yeah.
Sorry, I'm dyslexic. So I've seen 4, 5, 6, and 1, 2, 3. And then I've seen The Force Awakens, which is 7, right?
Wait, so it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then there's 7, 8, and then there's 9 now.
9's about to drop. They haven't dropped 9 yet.
Well, officially, yeah.
Right, okay,
But-
so I've seen the original 6. We'll start with that.
Okay.
I've seen all of those originals, and then I still haven't seen the...
Solo.
I haven't seen Solo or the Rey standalone.
There's a standalone for Rey? I
Yeah.
thought it was just Rogue One.
Rogue One.
That's
not Rey, you're right.
No, it's
yeah, no.
the in-between of 3 and 4 when
yes.
they're originally
Yes,
trying to
it's
blow up the Death Star, which leads right into the point when R2-D2
So I
is
haven't
trying to
seen
get
that.
that.
Yeah, I haven't seen that. But I'm a sidetrack.
Absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, I'm a sidetrack. Maybe the comments will jump in. I watched Star Wars in the wrong order, in my opinion, in my personal opinion. My ex had me watch it in chronological order instead of release order.
Yeah, the
So
nostalgic
he had me
vibe
watch
was
it-
the best way to go.
So yeah, he had me watch it 1, 2, 3,
Tits.
4, 5, 6 instead of 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3. Which storyline wise, that makes sense, obviously. But for one, because I'm more cinematic on the side of things, it didn't make a whole lot of sense for me because it had that big CGI jump
Oh shit,
between. Oh fuck, sorry.
No, you're good, you're good, you're good.
I thought I distracted you.
No, you're good.
So in between 3 and 4, obviously they were made years and years apart, where you have that huge CGI jump, right?
Yeah.
So it ruined the experience for me because
You went from really good to what the fuck.
right, and if I would have watched it 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, I would have still been wowed. Because for the time period that 4, 5, 6 was made, that was great CGI and like special effects.
That's why they
for
did
the
it,
time.
was because they knew that the story that George Lucas created for the Clone Wars
Well, and then
was so high tech that they couldn't, get enough people in false costumes to
yeah,
make it work
and
out.
the other issue I had was those who are older. So for those who don't know, I'm 22. I'm on the younger age of things. So when I got older and started knowing about Star Wars and stuff, all of it was already out. And
I just had a parent who forced me to watch everything 80s because my dad was awesome.
right, and my parents didn't. They were very anti-TV, anti-movies type people for the most part. They wanted me outside. They wanted me doing things. They didn't want me watching TV.
I was a cripple, so.
The old love, okay?
So for me, what was my point here? You interrupted and I got sidetracked.
Talking about
Oh,
movies.
the younger side. So for me, watching it, if I would have watched 4, 5, 6, I would have been able to appreciate like the cinematic value of those older movies.
Mhm.
And where they were very before their time, because I do believe 4, 5, 6 was very before their time.
You don't have to worry about me.
So definitely, like, if you're gonna watch them, I strongly suggest you watch it in release order and not chronological order.
It's better to start off that way, and then when you get the opportunity to come back.
Now I remember my original point. When I watched it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, was I knew the story. I knew the full story, right? So those who got to watch it, like my mom got to watch it in release order because she's that much older.
Mhm.
So she didn't know who Darth Vader was. She didn't know the story. She didn't know how all these people became who they were.
So it was like a big, oh!
So when she finally got to watch 1, 2, 3, it added to that. I didn't get that experience. And of course, because I grew up in the internet world of things, I obviously knew, like, Darth Vader is Luke Skywalker's father, all that stuff,
Mhm.
But I didn't know how it happened.
Also, warning, spoilers.
Oh yeah, very much spoilers. If you haven't watched Star Wars, and you have no clue,
I need to edit the title when I'm done with this.
yes, for sure. If you haven't watched Star Wars, we're, 15 minutes in at this point? Probably 10, 15?
Possibly, yes.
Yeah, so, sorry, but late warning, spoilers.
No, I'm putting it in right now.
Cool. Not, if I were to watch it 4, 5, 6, and then 1, 2, 3, I think the shock value of learning, Darth Maul and Darth Vader and all those things would have been more impactful. And in return, watching The Force Awakens and the movies after that would have been more enticing. Like, I haven't seen the standalones, mostly because of the order I watched the movies.
And that's why I think we need to watch them in that order for you.
Yeah, like, for sure. I think if I were to watch them...
Because I have the whole series.
Yeah.
What's nice is I have the remastered version, so they included Anakin's spirit in it, which it makes it fantastic because then you get the understanding between everything.
And that's the thing, is I did get to watch that version the first time through, which was a blessing, truly.
Yeah, because of the beforehand, they intentionally had them split apart.
Yeah, and I didn't like that. I have watched that version. I don't like it.
Wait, what the fuck?
But I truly think...
Is it not letting me open? Is there another door I gotta get?
Something?
Oh. Oh.
Sorry.
No, you're good. Keep going. What the fuck?
So I think, like, with any very popular movie series, like Lord of the Rings, Harry Potter, Star Wars, there's some actual lesson we can take from it, right?
Right.
Of course, and that's why people become obsessed with things, is because they feel a connection. And like with Star Wars, it's hard to define what that connection is.
Apprentice, mark well and listen.
Master.
Sorry.
Trust only
You're good.
in the Force.
No, I'm getting distracted. With Star Wars, there's that connection that we all feel towards it, that nerdy value to it, but there's also like that super sentimental value of like,
What's going on?
we don't know why we're so emotional with it, but we are.
Oh, hell yeah.
You know?
If you think about it, it was like one of those movies that George Lucas was very intelligent about when it comes into the factor of he wanted to build that action factor that was family friendly, but he also wanted to add in the factor that there's going to be females that are going to be involved in this is a family movie, so he added the romance, he added the emotional attachment, he
But on
added the
top
character
of
plot.
that, he also, I feel like, coming from, so for like people who don't know, I'm non-binary, so I don't really identify as female, but growing up as someone with female anatomy.
Female supervillain.
Exactly. So George
Fucking great.
Lucas, I feel like, was one of the first people to introduce a strong, independent female character in Princess Leia. And it was a super strong role, and a lot of people could relate to it, where before that, we didn't get to see that, like, super strong, independent female, you know? And I think that's another thing. And then when The Force Awakens came out, and Rey was the highlight, like, that was a big moment for everyone. And so, like, for me, the reason I saw The Force Awakens was for Rey. Because most of the Star Wars movies were about Anakin and Darth Vader and the male part. And then we introduced Rey, right? And the reason I haven't seen 8 yet is because I'm a strong believer, Seth knows this, but I'm a strong believer in emotional spoilers.
Way before the war.
So someone had told me that they cried a lot in 8 because we all got the answer to a question we had all been asking this entire time. And I don't know what that means, but also, like, that emotional spoiler has prohibited me from it. Which, now that we have Disney Plus, like, you know, I can easily...
All the Star Wars movies are on there now, too.
I can easily access that. Also, I apologize in advance. This stream will probably be me ranting because also Seth knows this. Once I start talking, I just can't fucking stop because I'm a toddler. Also, cussing, is that a thing?
Yeah, I have the warning in there.
Okay, cool.
I mean, I do it all the fucking time, so...
Well, I didn't know because, like, YouTube analytics, I'm a nerd, so although I don't stream or I don't go on YouTube, I do my research on YouTube Analytics, and I know sometimes it can curse within, like,
Easy now.
and correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, if you get comments very often. I know within, like, the first 5 to 10, 15 minutes, if you curse, it usually means bad things for yourself. So, I don't know. I could be wrong.
Oh yeah, this is where the timing comes in.
So, in storyline or correlation to the Star Wars actual universe, where does this movie lie? Or this game, sorry.
Right after Order 66 was executed.
Okay.
So he was a child, he was a Padawan.
Right.
When Order 66 came out, and this is right after the Clone Wars ended. So, Order 66 was executed, and basically what ended up happening in this point is now all the turmoil's out, Vader's taking control, he's trying to produce enough people to, you know, be controlled in all of the planetary sectors. So because of that, this is an individual that was one of the few Jedi that.
That's how I prepare.
Prepare for death. Rest when you're
Okay,
dead.
there you go. I was trying to figure out what it was asking me to do.
No.
Also, can I say, as like a cinematic connoisseur of video games, the audio on this is one of the best I've heard in a long time.
Why do you say that?
It's clear, where there are some video games where...
Boom!
So, like, this video game hits, for me personally, the perfect balance of volume and clarity. Where there are some video games that I've watched people play where the volume is too much, so you miss the clarity.
Right.
Or the clarity is so much you don't have a lot of volume.
Right.
And I feel personally, for me at least, because I have a migraine condition, this is the perfect medium.
Right. That makes sense.
And it keeps true to the Star Wars feel for sure. Or like there's video games, like personally for me, I'm not a huge fan of Kingdom Hearts for the sole factor that it doesn't feel like the audio is true to Disney itself. In the clarity and volume factor, where this feels very much like I would be watching a Star Wars movie.
Right. No, that's why I was glad about it, because I was like, EA, ew, microtransactions, fuck you.
Is there a lot of microtransactions in this game?
No, there's zero.
That's surprising.
And you want to know why? It's because of the other company that helped with this game, which I cannot remember the name at the top of my head.
I'll Google it.
Yeah, please do, because like I've always been a strong hater.
Are they like a co-creator?
Yeah, no, they're the ones who developed the game. They're the whole sole developer. EA was just the major sole production of like funding. So it would be, God. They've made a ton of other games. Like, if I remember right, they're...
What's this game called again?
Star Wars, the last, give me a second here.
Sorry, guys.
The Jedi Fallen Order.
Sorry.
No, you're good, you're good, you're good. Yeah, you hit me, and then you fucking died. Feckers. By the way, guys, I'm a massive, super hardcore, like, Star Wars nut, so...
Okay, so...
Games like these I get super delved into.
So you're talking about the developer. Oh, no. Right?
Yeah, so it's EA and somebody else.
So, yeah,
move in
it's
between
Respawn. Yep.
And published by EA.
Yep. Respawn is by far a fantastic...
Oh, I love Respawn. Like, Respawn is one of my favorites, not gonna lie.
Ow!
Just visually, because, again, I will always backtrack and reiterate if I'm ever on, like, audio or camera, Just because fucking people are stupid sometimes. I will always reiterate, I'm more visually and audio-ly attracted to video games, minus the game.
Holy shit.
I don't play them.
You shot the coupling out.
So, this is one of my favorite developers for cinematic reasons.
Respawn's done a lot of good shit too, like,
Yeah.
oh god.
For sure.
I would have to do my research on what they've all done, but if I remember, they also helped out with Jack and Dexter? I'm not sure.
So they did Call of Duty, which is one of my favorites to watch.
As much as the games, like, nowadays suck, their first player game series has always been
so they did,
spot on.
They helped with Call of Duty, Titanfall, Apex.
Yeah, I knew that they would have done Apex because Apex was...
Titanfall is a really good one that I enjoy to watch, personally.
I can never get into it personally, but I always wanted to play the 2 because 2 they actually added in a storyline, so... Guess what, motherfucker? Whoosh!
We're here to help!
Who are you?
But,
No time!
I mean,
Keep
they are
moving.
very
We'll pick you
far
up
in
when we
between
can.
from my very minimal just now research on Google, but I think Respawn will do great, honestly. Just because from what I've seen, they put a lot of care into what they do and a lot of research.
Right.
Where other companies, their whole goal is money.
Yeah. EA used to do really great, like, when they
early
helped...
early EA, I loved it.
Yeah, like, I loved the Mass Effect series. I was downright within 1 through 3. I was just...
I cried so much during Mass Effect. Not
So,
gonna lie.
right? No, 1 through 3 for Mass Effect was like... It, not only was it EA, but also Dragon Age. Dragon Age, basically, it was the Mass Effect, but in a Knights of like the Old Republic, like magic and shit type era. So it was great. It was loving and it was just well done.
Well, and it was enticing storyline-wise.
And then they decided to try to make Andromeda, and instead of putting any form of... Well, I just fell to my death. Wait, what? Oh, that was weird.
So, quick sideline. How does this game work when you die? Like, fill me in.
Just like Dark Souls, well, no, actually, Bloodborne.
Because I was
So,
I don't
Bloodborne...
see any lantern type things.
Not yet. It will later. This is just the intro.
Okay.
So if you die in this, they just take you to the most recent checkpoint. But in later points, you have a meditation zone.
Okay.
Meditation's where you level yourself up, and then when you die as well, which will probably happen to you sooner or later, but in order to get your experience back, you have to at least nail them once.
Okay.
So it's a little bit more on the lenient side,
So
but...
you don't have to kill them, you just have to hit them.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, just like how Bloodborne was with the enemy consuming your experience,
Same exact
way.
So they consume your experience, but you don't have to kill them to get it back, you just have to hit them.
Right.
Okay.
And in most cases, it's just best to kill them because you get them on as XP instead of...
Okay.
But since this game has a difficulty session, it makes it so much easier because in Dark Souls and Bloodborne, you don't get that. So for those that love that type of style, this creates an opportunity for people to develop the actual, like, patience for those kinds of games, and then they can delve right on in to Dark Souls and Demon Souls and Bloodborne and
that might be
enjoy.
beneficial for me.
Hold on!
Like,
I don't know how that worked out, but I went to the side.
I saw that. And that's one of the other things, like, for both Seth and I, we're video game connoisseurs in 2 different parts. So, like, for us, we both just noticed that little broken technology there. Where, like, in certain games, if you were to be to the side a little bit, you would have died completely.
Oh, they would have made me do the whole thing all over again.
Right, but with something as cinematic as this, as long as you're in the same vicinity, you're going to progress further.
Oh shit.
The next
Oh
scene.
shit. I remember this part. Okay.
Oh.
So,
What's her name? Second sister?
second sister, her sword, she's got the guard break, but it's
Okay.
also got a dual side.
Ah,
So
if
she's
she
got-
were to flip it sideways, she could.
Do two sides.
So like.
Yeah, see the end right there?
Yeah.
It's got an end there. But it's
Oh,
cool.
what's his name? Fucking from. So as far as I've seen, we just talked about this. The Force Awakens. What's his name? Who kills Han Solo?
Kylo.
Kylo. His is double-sided, right?
No, his is not double-sided.
Who has the double-sided?
Darth Maul.
Oh, it's Maul. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Also, on a musical
Ow!
aspect, I don't know if you've played these games, but another one that I loved cinematically was the Lord of the Rings series on, I believe, Xbox? Or no?
It was on GameCube and
yes.
PlayStation and Xbox.
So the GameCube games, the orchestral music gives me vibes of the first scene when you're fighting the first major boss in the Lord of the Rings games.
I might be able to beat her. I'm not sure.
I think you can.
Because, like, from what I know, this intro scene, I'm gonna just spoil it. No matter if you win or lose, it continues on.
Yeah, it's kind of like the Bloodborne where
Yeah.
it's kind of set
Actually,
up
I think this is it.
it's kind of set up to lose, but if you win,
Yep.
like that's beneficial, you know?
Yeah. Because, like, I've seen people die on this when they're trying it on the hard mode because I just wanted to take a sneak peek.
Right. I hope so. I'm name dropping one of my favorite Let's Players. Seth already knows what I'm about to say. I hope Game Grumps plays this.
Well, they'd have so much fun.
Right, they'd have so much fun at night. Truly, like, Game Grumps is the ones that I watch to just watch the game itself. Not for a educational value at all, ever. Because that's not what they're there for. They're there for fun. And that's it.
Yeah, they're not Let's Players, they're just commentary spectators while playing the game.
Well, and it's funny, though, because they are a part of the Let's Player community now. They are considered Let's Players. But they do more for the comedic and fun value.
Right.
So I do want to see what they have to say about this game from their perspective.
Oh, of course. That'd be great.
I am sad they didn't finish Blair Witch, for sure.
That's the game I really want to get, but...
They didn't finish it.
Okay, shut that thing off.
The game?
Yeah, so when they do Ghoul Grumps, sometimes they don't finish the complete game.
No, I'm talking about, like, just the actual game itself. Is it
Right.
complete?
Well, so, yeah, Blair Witch is done.
Okay, cool.
It's been released, but the Game Grumps, when they did it on their channel, they didn't complete it as far as I'm aware. I don't know if they'll revisit it and complete it.
They probably will next Halloween. Hopefully.
I
If
hope
no,
so.
if it's, I don't know if it's purchasable for PlayStation. I think it's Xbox and PC only. But if I can figure that out, that's the game I really want to get.
Yeah.
Because if anything, you'd be able to be a part of
Well,
it.
as far hold on.
Yeah?
This is the benefit to having a
What's the bounty
co-host
on
for
Jedi these
sometimes.
days anyway?
Is I can
Do it for
fucking
you?
I get it.
Google
You've been
things.
surviving on your
Fuck
own
you.
for so long that it's impossible to trust anyone. And it's what's kept you alive. But this is about something bigger than just surviving.
Like what?
Like rebuilding the Jedi Order.
Fuck, dude. You know how difficult that would be,
You know
though?
who he looks like?
Anybody else? Oh, good enough for you?
The guy who plays.
Jedi
What's his
Council.
fucking name? Give me a second.
You could just look him up.
Yeah, give me a second.
Because all these
it's only
characters,
for-
they're all legit, like,
It's only for Windows and Xbox for Blair Witch.
fucking tits. That's why I want to get a PC so goddamn bad. If I did that, I would just switch over to that. Because if you get a PC, 9 times out of 10, you can play all different games.
Yeah, the guy, that guy, the main guy, he looks like AJ Abrams, or AJ, is that his name? Sorry. AJ Apa, sorry, who plays Archie in Riverdale. That's who he looks like. I don't think it's the same person, but...
Move on and live your life. Find your destiny.
That's who he looks like.
You were talking in your sleep.
Yeah, it's Cameron Monaghan.
You looking at a map right now?
Yeah.
That's what I was trying to find out.
Yeah, it's, I'm gonna butcher his name, but it's Cameron Monaghan. M-O-N-A-G.
Cameron, Monaghan?
Monaghan, thank you.
Yeah, he looks exactly like the actual... And what's really funny is he's in Shameless, Gotham.
That's what I know him from, is Gotham.
He was on Click. He was the little boy on Click.
Oh, he was in The Giver.
Uh-huh. This guy's got some really big roles. Like, he was in the third Santa Claus, which nobody wants to speak about because that was the most awful...
Watch your fucking mouth. I loved that one. That was my favorite. Like,
no!
Okay, no. Okay.
No!
So I see where you're coming from, but Jack Frost was my favorite.
Well, the actor himself is great. I love him as, like, an overall actor. I can't do it just yet. So once we get to the point where I can unlock this is where I get to customize my lightsaber. Also, you can unlock a dual-bladed lightsaber for your character.
Can you change the color, or is it
yes, you can.
red and stuff?
You can change the color of your lightsaber blade. You can change
like
the
any
actual
color of the rainbow, or just like within the Force and the Sith and stuff.
No, you unlock them as you go along.
Oh, that's cool. I like that.
Yeah, and since I got the I pre-ordered the deluxe edition because I wanted to spend the big buckos, I got an orange.
What is that? A space banjo? It's a space banjo. That's a space banjo.
Yeah. What's really funny is listen to this dialogue.
This is beautiful.
Just listen to the dialogue.
I wrote it. Years ago. You touch an object and witness events connected to it. You feel its history.
It's an echo in the Force from the object.
Not many Jedi have that skill.
How would you know that?
I was once a Jedi, but not anymore.
That's also another thing.
But I knew your master, Jaro Tapal.
I'll wait till the dialogue's over.
He was a true guardian of the Republic.
He was a hero. Listen. Something happened to me during the Purge. I survived, but my connection to the Force is damaged.
What's the Purge?
When I meditate, if I let my guard down,
66.
I lose control.
When
it's like I'm back
when
in that
did
moment.
Order 66 happen?
Survived, Cal.
Okay, I got you. Sorry.
As I was saying, this is in that moment of right after 3 going into Rogue One.
I know what you're talking about. Sorry.
Also, you're gonna recognize some actors in here that are. One of them he's one of my few favorite. He's one of my top Latino actors, and he's not so much as a physical character, but he's there, and you'll see what I mean.
This is a Jedi I knew discovered it before the Purge.
I apologize in
won't
advance,
find it
but I'm going to go into the more religious, spiritual aspect of life in general. But
So, what's the plan?
This whole series is space samurai.
We're done hiding.
And Buddhism, basically.
My huge pull to Star Wars in general is the spiritual side of it.
It requires someone strong in the Force to pass its test.
For those who are
Since you're not a
religious
Jedi anymore,
in the
that's why you
Christian
need me.
side,
I know.
they believe in God.
And
Or
I'm
if
not really
you're
sure
a
I
Jedi,
trust
you believe in the Force. And if
But
you're
we
me,
have a common enemy. and
you
a
believe
common
in the
cause.
universe. In
which is the Force.
Which is the Force. And I have given, as Seth knows, as a lot of my friends and family know, I've given the universe a name as it feels more personal for me, as what the Jedis have done with the Force.
Her name's Linda, and she's a bitch sometimes.
Yeah, Linda's the worst. But I call the universe Linda. But that's what I love about the Force, is they speak about the Force as if, or as that it,
why does Seer need me?
as she had said, is it attaches to objects. So when you touch objects, you can feel the Force from that object, and you can feel the memory and the emotion, right?
Right. See, you can change your
garb.
Your garb. You can also change your ship color.
I love it.
Also, you'll see the other things you can customize later. I'm not going to spoil it, because you'll just have to learn for yourself.
Yeah. Because he'll know a throw bitch fit if he does spoil it for me. This is probably one of the games that he streams that I'll probably be there for every stream he does.
So here's your save point.
Just need a focus point.
Oh, okay. So meditation point. I love that.
This is your save point. So save points are located throughout Cal's journey. Make sure to interact with them to save your progress. Not only does it do that, but once you die, you'll go to the most nearest one. So you'll also be able to spend skill points. Skill points in this game aren't like just you're updating your magic and your health or stamina. This is also based off of the move sets you get. This is also the different types of force that you are creating. This is just your general, like, all basis stuff. So, like, in this case, I'm just going to be able to only do this one, which is fine. But you'll see what it unlocks. And unlocks one section of...
I'm just
okay,
checking your audio, sorry.
No, you're good, you're good. You're able to unlock, like, so maximum force, also increasing your slow, because the slow is what's basically like your break point. These are your abilities that you can use. You can sprint strike, so you're able to sprint. Also, later on, you have more blocking. So when you're able to block, you're not using as much stamina, your maximum life is increased. This game's got a skill system that is fantastic. When you rest, you'll be able to increase your health. Also later on you get health stems, which allows you to self-heal in the middle of battle, so it just like in BT1! Sorry.
Hey, BT1.
I like that factor of fear almost in his face coming out of meditation.
No, not yet.
Back to like the whole my religion or my spiritualness. When you meditate, when you come back to reality, there is that fear of like, where am I almost? So I like the reality in that they kept. That's super cool for me personally.
Well, that's the thing, is he said his connection to the Force is broken.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, what the fuck is that thing?
So, like, when you meditate in any spiritual way, or you pray if you're Christian, when you break out of that prayer or that meditation, it's a moment of fresh air to reality. So it's definitely like a moment of break. I'm speaking for myself, so for those Christians out there, I could be completely wrong with prayer, but I could also be completely right. But as I was saying previously of that moment, this will probably be one of the main streams that you guys will feature the lovely fiance Heaven in, just because I'm a nerd, and when he streams games that I'm very interested in, and I come in bits and pieces, it is very disappointing for myself because I miss huge chunks of story. But this is definitely one I want to be a part of because I love storyline, for sure.
I saw something over here.
And I feel like it definitely does help me understand, as nerdy as this sounds, because I'm a fucking nerd, it does help me understand the Star Wars universe and the movies in general, and the lore in general. So,
And that's why I like about the games that they produce is like a lot of people think that when you add too many fillers, it becomes to the point of, okay, so what's next? Well, that's the thing, is that they don't want to break away from what's already been previously provided for you. So in that case, this game works out great because Rogue One fills in the story of the importance of Vader trying to create the Death Star. But the thing is they don't provide enough information about what happened to all the fucking Jedis. Well, that's also why The Force Unleashed was created, because that was also during this time. Which is something I'm really hoping that they bring in, but I highly doubt they will. Because The Force Unleashed was kind of the end of the Order 66 being executed. Because Vader was already there. And it started off with you playing as Vader in the Annihilation of Kashyyyk. Which is the... God, I can't remember the race, but basically Chewbacca's home planet. They explain it later, because you have to go to Kashyyyk from what I understand. But
also, if I sound... Oh, sorry.
They're just dicks.
Yeah, no, you're good.
And I cut them in half.
Also, if I sound uneducated, I will admit it's because I've only seen 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 one time, and The Force Awakens one time. So that's why you hear me asking a lot of questions, so don't shit on me, and if you do, ask permission first, because, like, consent is valuable. But as I was saying, like, if y'all don't like me, fuck all the way off. I'm gonna be here probably for this whole series. Because I'm a nerd.
I ain't mad about it.
If he plays a Lord of the Rings game, I'll probably be here.
Which I am also going to be doing that. I'm going to be playing the, pausing. Where's it at? Shit Dick.
Shit Dick? Sounds like a game I would be into.
Have you not watched Donnie Darko? I'll be playing Shadow of Mordor.
Okay, cool.
So, I'll be playing Shadow of Mordor. Also, I need to get the secondary game because there is a sequel to it, but I'll get there later.
I'm sad I wasn't there for Borderlands.
I never finished it, so... I'm gonna restart it from scratch.
Yeah, for me, Borderlands...
I'm bad at finishing
things. We gonna get deep for a minute. Everyone gets to know my emotional turmoil as a child. I wasn't allowed to play video games mostly because my brother was the one who was gifted the game consoles.
Oh, hold that thought.
You didn't?
Every time you rest, it also resets the enemies, just like if you were to rest at a bonfire in Dark Souls. Continue.
Thank you.
Careful over there. That doesn't look safe.
So I didn't get to play games a lot, due to just me and my brother weren't super close once we both grew up. And so once I turned 18 and I was an independent adult, I didn't have any knowledge in video games past Minecraft. Which is sad, because I love the cinematic value of video games, and I feel like if I was introduced to playing them more regularly as a child, I wouldn't have the motion sickness I get from playing them personally, just because the amount of focus it requires. Like, when I'm watching someone play a video game, it's like I'm watching a movie, so I don't have to focus as hard. But when I'm playing it, I get severe motion sickness, so I can't play.
Well,
it's because you have to focus more when you're playing.
So Borderlands was one of the first games that I ever was able to play by myself without my brother's help. And he would usually jump in and be like, here, let me do this level for you. Level up his character by like 10 levels, and then leave me to myself.
Yeah, that's where I was headed too.
And I love Borderlands. I love the storyline. I love all of it. You know?
What the fuck?
What?
Hold up for a second. It's giving me internet is not sufficient to broadcast gameplay. Everything seems fine. The fuck is wrong with you? We'll know here in a second. If it disconnects, I'll restart.
Yeah.
My apologies if it does happen.
Yeah, I'll reiterate the story. I'm not worried. Because this is all about me today, apparently.
Tight fit.
But so Borderlands was And like my story with how I got into Borderlands was like a defiant moment after I had turned like 16 or 17.
Customization.
And I went to a friend's house, and I remember feeling like this moment of relief that I got to play a video game without my brother there, and it was Borderlands.
Right.
And so I got really into it. I loved it. I loved having that feeling of not having my brother over my shoulder taking the controller and showing me how to do it. And I died a lot because at the age of 16 or 17, if you're not used to playing video games and holding a controller in your hand, you're gonna die a lot. And my best friend at the time, Kimball, he was great, and he was just like, we'll get through it. We were playing co-op, you know? And I still haven't beat the first Borderlands game. I haven't even touched the pre-sequel or Borderlands 2, but I own them both. I own the Handsome Jack collection. I don't own the first one, and I am a strong believer in playing games in order of release. So I won't touch those games until I get the first one.
The first one's available on PlayStation for like $13.
Yeah. So until I own it, I won't play, you know, the second one or the pre-sequel. Which is fine, and it's gonna take me probably a year to get through the first one because I fucking suck at video games. But that's why I was sad I wasn't there to watch the third one, because I watched my brother play 1, and I've watched gameplay of the pre-sequel and 2. So when Seth was like, he started the third one, and I knew the storyline, but every time I came back downstairs, because I hide in my fucking non-binary cave upstairs,
okay.
Every time I came downstairs, he was in a different portion of the game, which isn't his fault. He loves video games. I'm not gonna ask him to not play a game because I want to see...
Adjust the brightness a little bit.
Yeah, you're good.
So I can see myself what
not
the fuck
going
I'm
to
doing.
ask him to not play a game so I can watch him play it, you know? So, you know, I got to see the beginning, some of the middle here and there, and then I got to see the end of the game. And that was it. So I'm sad I wasn't there for the playthrough. Like, ideally, if I were to be here more regularly for his streamings, I would suggest, like, him and I sit down and I, like, view him watch the first, the second, the pre-sequel, and the third one in order. Because, like, one, you get my commentary, and I'm fucking great, but also it benefits me because I'm selfish, and I get to see all of them. So, that little rant about Borderlands.
You're good.
But, yeah.
So much better. I can actually see... It's not supposed to be superficially dark in this area. This is how it should be on my end. I don't know how it is on your end, but adjust your brightness.
Here, I'll check.
My TV's hella dark.
Yeah, our big TV broke, so we're on a smaller TV.
Yeah, I didn't stream yesterday also because my TV broke and I'm a bitch and threw a fit. So
matte or medium brightness. Ooh, where'd it go?
That's better. Thanks, little droid.
Sorry, guys. I'm working on it for you.
Let's try this again.
So at medium brightness on a Android S or S10.
Okay.
It looks exactly like our TV looks.
Okay, cool beans.
So if it were to be max brightness, and for those who have either epilepsy or migraine issues, you might want to dial it down to medium, because looking at it max brightness, it's super bright, and it actually is causing me a migraine as I'm looking at it. So, and I have migraine issues. So, fun little fact there.
Also, cool little additional fact. This game brings also back the concept of what Legend of Zelda provided. So when you unlock things later in the game, you'll also be able to go back and explore new areas within the maps that you're provided when you go from world to world.
Ooh, cool. Good.
So
So I'm not Not super versed in Legend of Zelda. Fucking stone me later, because, you know, everyone loves Zelda, but not growing up playing video games, that wasn't my thing.
Back off.
So with Zelda, how early was that adapted into the games where you unlock things, or was that constant?
I honestly think since the very, very first game when it was on
Like
this
on Game Boy?
SNES.
Or SNES?
Yeah, the original Nintendo system.
Because as far as I knew with original Zelda, it was all one standard programming, so no matter what you unlocked, you would still have availability to everything.
Kinda, yeah, but then also no. So I would honestly think the most pronounced one that provided the opportunity was
like
Ocarina of Time.
Oh, okay. Ocarina came before Majora's.
Right. Also, Link to the Past.
Link to the Past, I've seen gameplay for it because, you know.
Right.
Link to the Past definitely was a huge one in that factor, for sure. And then I know Breath of the Wild was a huge advancement in the Zelda universe for that type of, you unlock something, you get more. Right. And then, as much as people don't like it, Skyward Sword was another one like that. I hate to bring up, I hate to bring up Skyward Sword because I know a lot of people
stamina factor
hate
is
it.
fucking stupid.
Yeah, I am not a fan of the stamina factor, but I also understand why they did it the way they did.
Wind Waker is also another. Mikey's commenting.
Oh, I love Wind Waker for sure.
Wind Waker's fucking great.
How do I view the live chat?
So when you go into the you'll probably won't be able to see his comment, but if you open up, it should drop down like this. But you have to back out of the whole video and then pop back in, probably. Give me a second, guys.
Sorry.
Taking over Heaven's fucking thing really quick. Oh, you're not using the YouTube app, that's why.
Oh, yeah, I don't ever use the YouTube app.
You should probably start. It's great. Mike, I'm gonna have you do one thing for me once I get in there, so...
He's gonna ask you to comment something stupid, probably. Hi, Mike. Because no one else cares.
So now when you're in, you're also gonna see... See? There you go.
Oh, okay, cool.
She can see your yo.
Yeah. Hi, Mike. What about Wind Waker, Mike? I will watch the comments while Seth plays.
There he goes.
Yeah, what about Wind Waker? You asked questions. Also, Mike, while we have you, what's your input on me being more regular here? I want to know from like a viewer standpoint.
She's gonna be here for commentary for this stream in specific, which I'll be doing almost, hopefully daily?
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing, like, Seth and I have talked about me being commentary, but I don't want to be on camera. I did love Wind Waker as well, and,
He's confused on the concept of what we're talking about.
Yeah, so usually Seth, streams alone. And him and I previously have talked about the idea of me streaming with him in a more Game Grumps-esque style. So he plays and I'm kind of a co-host and I'm just here for commentary and story and stuff like that.
Oh shit!
But he does like to be on camera and me, myself,
what the fuck
I do
was
not
that?
like to be on camera. So as a consumer point of view, what would you feel about me being here more regularly? Like, would you rather Seth be on camera, or would you rather have, like, a second person's commentary?
I totally missed something, and I wish I would have gone back, because there's a boss that I have to fight. And I went too far ahead.
Oh, did you?
Yeah. It's okay, I'll be able to...
do it now?
I'll be able to go back, because I gotta return back to the ship at some point.
Okay.
So, I'll just go fight him afterwards. It'll be better anyways. You fucking dick mugger.
Mike, I'm waiting for your comment. I need your
He's coming in. He's coming in. It takes a while. I'll get instant access to knowing that there's a comment coming in, but it'll come in.
Can't get it to work.
That's fair.
For fucking real.
On the more business side of things, for us economically, like if we want to proceed in, and correct me if I'm wrong, Seth, if we want to proceed more in making income off of these streams, we just want to see what would be more beneficial.
I mean, regardless, I'm not really in for the income.
Right,
but
like
it's always
neither
a
of us are, but like to see like other people's input, you know? 'Cause I don't care either way. You streaming makes you happy, and that's all that really matters to me. So if me coming here and you not having views is impacted by me being here, then we want to adjust that, because like, you know, it all matters of what makes you happy. But I also want to know like what people enjoy. Like, do they enjoy the added commentary?
I mean,
do they enjoy me making fun of you failing, or do they...
I mean, I think it would be a good addition.
Do people enjoy my emotional rambles and my personal stories, like things like that? If they don't, then I don't want to bombard your personal time with my personal shit, you know?
Right. Makes sense. But you should be good.
Because to me, like, the economic value doesn't matter at all to me. I don't care. Our bills are paid, and YouTube doesn't help us. Like...
What'd you find?
That's really the thing.
Well, hey, you never know how it goes until you actually do it.
True.
Fucking real.
True. And that's also very true. Like, and my whole point of not being on streams till now is just like, I talk a lot because I have severe social anxiety, so when there's silence, like, I've watched Seth's streams, that's kind of how we got together.
That actually is exactly how we got together.
Yeah, he had told me he streamed, and I'm really into Game Grumps.
Game Grumps,
my mouth.
he decided to do doop.
Yeah. So I'm really into Game Grumps, and he had told me he streamed. And so I started watching his streams regularly.
Wait, what?
What?
You broke a controller playing this game?
Fucking Mike, what did you do? Anyway.
He probably played it on normal mode and got wrecked. He got pissed.
Anyway, I'm gonna continue my story till we get another comment. So, Seth and I can I tell our whole story of how we got together?
I'm fine with it.
Drama and all.
Yep.
Okay. So, I'm gonna tell you our
Play it on easy
story.
mode, bruh.
So, I joined the company that we both work for back in December of 2019, so less than a year ago.
Difficult, master.
And we had a colleague who basically made it seem that Seth was the worst kind of person. And the reasoning was just basically he talked a little too much and he was kind of an oddball.
I am an oddball. I'm just full of energy and don't give a fuck.
Yeah, he has ADHD.
Fucking Mike knows. I worked with his ass.
He has ADHD, so it's just one of those things where some people can't handle it, and that's fair. And so I let someone else's opinion kind of give me this already judgmental view of it. Well, then he had expressed that he needed a ride into Salem, where I lived, or out of Salem, where I lived, because his car was getting work, and I offered. And that was like our first real interaction besides work interactions of like, hey, do you know this answer type of thing. And that car ride, I absolutely fell in love with him, but he was already engaged and taken, and I'm not the type of woman to steal another woman's man. that's not my goal in life. So we got a lot closer. In February of 2019, I went to New York, and he was the only colleague on my team who reached out daily to make sure my trip was going well, I was safe. I was in New York City, and, like, it just meant a lot to me that, like, someone who didn't know me was reaching out to make sure I was okay.
There's someone familiar with the Jedi Order.
Then we started talking a lot more. After I came back from New York and I was back at work, I was gone 5 days. And in that 5 days, he expressed more care for me than anyone in my life ever had. So then we started talking through February, and then in March, him and I had sat outside our cars for 2 hours talking about just fucking workplace drama. And
which is entertaining as fuck.
Right. The night we will always call wine night.
Oh god.
I basically confessed my feelings for him, and he left his now ex-fiance. The weekend later, we started dating, and about a month later, he proposed.
Yeah, on 420. It was an interesting conversation.
So our relationship didn't move quick, but that's kind of how we met for everyone involved. Fucking Mike.
He's talking true story, as in like how he knows me.
Yeah. How did we get on this topic?
You decided you wanted to talk about it.
Yeah, I feel like I have a point, but anyway.
You did to some degree, I think.
Yeah.
Your heart was somewhere in the details there.
But the reason I haven't been on streams is just like, my social awkwardness. So that's why it took so long for me to get to know Seth, was because I was attracted to him day one. And from what we've learned over time is he was also attracted to me day one.
I had been with somebody who, in a sense, like, she was there for me at the beginning, but because we were kind of in this long distance relationship because our goals and plans were aligned, we're about to have a fur ball.
She's fine.
Anyways, yeah, I fell out of that depth of care and love for that individual because it just wasn't there equally. So in that sense, that's why I ended up doing.
Lucky for me, you know.
It just kind of worked out for her and her benefit.
Great. So when Seth and I will be 1 year in March. But since then...
Better kitties?
Since then, he's asked me several times to sit here while he does his streams.
Okay, now I can do it.
But I have severe social anxiety, and because of my social anxiety, I talk a lot. And I'm really insecure about that aspect of myself, is because I talk a lot. I feel like I'm taking away from who Seth is as a person, you know, because this is his stream. He should be talking. And that's why I don't want to be here all the time while he streams, because, like, if people are viewing, it's for Seth. It's not for Heaven, his co-host, or Heaven, his fiance, you know. I don't want to take the spotlight, and, like, because of my generalized anxiety disorders and my social anxiety disorders, despite of why you're viewing this, I still, and it's also narcissism in a way, that I feel like you're here because I'm talking so much, you know?
Standing up to that bog rat?
So, having that input of, like, do you like this constant talking? Or do you also like the moments of silence where Seth is playing and you don't have this annoying female voice in your ear, you know? And so, like, tonight is a lucky night that I just want to be downstairs with Seth and not hiding upstairs while he's playing video games. You guys get to hear my rambles.
Oh, you dick, you ran way far ahead of me.
We're not finished yet.
He's like, fuck you. You slow. I'm a robot.
Also, Mike said 420 blaze it, which,
yeah,
like...
I saw.
Also, whatever, you don't even smoke, so fuck you, you don't get to say that. Which also valid because your job, but like still same.
Well, yeah, he's in the military, so it's a little bit different.
Where's your phone battery at, by the way?
Like 2/3.
Like percentage-wise.
58.
Can I take the charger? Because I'm at 12, and I want to be able to still read comments and make sure we're not lagging.
You can manage the comments, actually.
Well, that's the thing. That's what I want to do. So
I don't know where the plugin went.
It's right here. Yeah. So another thing that I've learned from viewing other Let's Players is having a second person.
He's gonna be like Aaron when it comes to smoking. He's like, maybe I should try it, see how it goes.
For real, you should one day.
I mean, he's already got the stoner mentality.
Well, so back to the just from a consumer side of things for like viewing comments and audio, there are times that I've noticed with Seth's Seth's streams, especially live.
He's like, I can't afford to try it
yet. Amazing.
With the audio gets laggy.
3 more years, right?
So, oh fuck, sorry.
You all right, BD?
This is the guy I'm talking about.
Yeah.
This is the actor I'm talking about that I'm like love.
He's in the Princess Bride.
No.
Oh, ooh, fuck. Well, people look the same to me.
Just type in Eno Cordova.
The fate of the Jedi Order lies
Voice actor.
in your hands.
Actually, I can do it. Fuck it.
Place
Fuck it.
Vault is a sacred temple.
Hey Google.
Built by a vanished civilization.
Eno Cordova.
Zephyr.
Actor.
Meditating here, I was granted a premonition through the Force.
Well, okay,
A
whatever.
vision of doom.
You suck dick.
I have placed inside
But
this
as
vault
I was
a
saying,
Jedi holocron containing a list
having
of the
a
names
second
and
party
locations of
able
young
to
Force
monitor
sensitives throughout the galaxy.
your audio and let you know if it's
Confined in
lagging
the chamber of the vault.
or monitoring your
Also,
comments
another test.
is
I can only
beneficial.
trust this holocron
For
to
sure.
someone who has followed my path
He was
and
in
understands.
what we know,
Seek
so
out the hidden tombs of the three sages.
you'll probably know once I
and
play
learn
it.
to
Fuck, I have
perceive the
hiccups.
mysteries of the Force.
That's
as
okay.
the
He was in
Zephyr
Zorro.
once did.
Oh, okay, that's where I know him.
He was Don Luis.
Everything you need to succeed
Also,
on this
he
journey.
played in
Go to the Zephyr
The Legend of Zorro, which is the other one.
in the eye of the storm.
The Green Lantern Emerald Knights, which he was a voice actor for, which is the animated one. Annabelle, he played Father Perez. Yeah, that's who. He was also the narrator for a couple of the Land Before Time movies.
Tony Amendola.
Yep.
Yes, you were the someone I was supposed to meet.
Bad props to that guy. He's like in my eyes, like, so Stan Lee was ancient, but he's like the Betty White of like Hispanic actors.
For sure, yeah.
He just doesn't die. He's old as shit.
Oh, wait a minute. Not for a Jedi.
Yeah, Tony Amendola is fantastic.
Maybe Seer was right.
Damn it, I have really bad hiccups. I'll be right back. I'm gonna run to the bathroom and get more water.
Bathroom?
Yeah,
I mean sink.
No, I have to pee, and then I'm gonna go to the sink and get water.
Oh, Jesus Christ, okay. Okay, so now that I've done this part, there's a section I gotta go to that I missed. I've watched it already, so I know where to go. I know it's kind of cheating in my factor, but I know where to go, and I really want to take advantage of it, because this motherfucker that I gotta fight, you've already seen the monster already, or creature, or whatever the fuck you want to call it. This guy, except for it's a bigger one. Way bigger one. Haha! Fuck you. Waka! Big ass frog bitch. There you go. We'll name him Big ass frog bitch. I think that's more appropriate. Got it. So you know where I'm going, right? Shit. Fuck. I will kill him once I get there. I just gotta get back to the area.
My friend, it appears the chauffeur had
I'm taking my character to the place that caused Mike to break his controller.
Awesome.
Yeah. So the big frog thing, there's a bigger one that I gotta kill.
Awesome.
He unlocks, if I remember, he's the one who unlocks the lightsaber piece that follows along with Obi-Wan Kenobi's lightsaber tip. The one that's kind of like a bell shape, the outward cut looking thing. So that's where I'm going next, hopefully. Yep, right over here. So
Also,
first
Mike,
off,
do you have more than one controller? Because if you broke your only controller, that's sad.
What is this place?
Anyway, continue.
oh, you're good, you're good. I gotta figure out how to get around to that area, which I think I have to unlock something else in particular to get there, but for now, what I gotta do is slow 2 of these down, drop in, hop over. Oh shit, fuck. Okay, we're good.
Okay, that's good. I'm happy you bought a new
Jedi
one.
use this place to study
Okay,
the spirit
also
of
fun fact, you can also earn Force Essence and Life Essence. So you can naturally increase your health over time, which I'm hoping for. If they don't, if it's not a new feature, or if it already is, I'm happy. But if it isn't, they best fucking put a new Game Plus in this bitch. Or I swear to God, I'll be pissed.
Ugh, fuck, these hiccups. Sorry.
We haven't even eaten yet.
Huh?
The food.
I know. I covered it with tinfoil. So
Okay. I was gonna say you could put it in the oven at low heat.
I could do that too.
Keep it hot. So here's where the big bossy poo comes in.
The big bossy poo.
How far have I gotten in this on my own?
That thing looks like it smells worse than grease.
Here we go. Big guy. Oh, you dick. Just right after this part. Not very far. I'll be able to... Fuck you! Octobogdo!
Ow! Fuck. I walked into the door.
There's a door there, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
Father was killed. Is it trying to defend its family?
He says, kill it!
I did. I would try to teabag him, but it won't let me teabag, so...
Fuck. How do you get rid of hiccups? Someone tell me.
You drink warm water? Or you chug as much water as you can within a single breath without drowning yourself. And then this is where I go back to my normal shit. Also, if I remember, I did also miss one extra thing over here. Because I can unlock this little thing right here now. Where did Robot Bitch go? Okay, well, whatever, no. Yeah, that's what I thought. This is where I came out. Duh!
But what if I wanted to drown myself? For legal purposes, that's a joke.
Just believe hard enough.
Okay, this isn't Tinkerbell, Mike. I can't clap and hope to God it goes away. Also, because I want evidential proof here, do you prefer Mike or Mikey? I need to know. Inquiring minds must know.
Oh shit! Nope! Fuck! Well... He forgot how to climb.
No, that's not how this works. Just because I believe hard enough. But you didn't answer my question, Mike or Mikey. I'm waiting. Watch. By the time he hears that question, he's gonna have it answered already. Because I know there's like a 5-second delay or something dumb like that.
Well, they hear us about 3 seconds apart.
Yeah. He said chat is slow. But like, what do you prefer? Do you prefer Mike or Mikey? Like,
You said you can say Mikey.
no, I know. I
Mike.
saw that. I read that. But like, do you prefer Mike? Do you prefer Mikey? What do you personally prefer?
Oh shit! Why the fuck didn't I grab it? Fucking tits.
Also, I love your profile picture. It's my favorite. It's like a tweaked out.
It's actually a real Pokemon. It's a ghost Pokemon that wears a Pichu costume. It's a legit Pokemon. It's dope.
Great. Also, thank you for answering. I'm a huge advocate for preferred. As being non-binary, I prefer they, them. And my dead name will not be spoken on camera because...
Let's just say this is the dead president.
Yeah. My dead name is literally a dead president, not gonna lie. But I won't speak out on camera for the sole factor that I know the internet is the worst. And they will haunt me with it. So heaven is my actual name. Fucking chill, call me Abraham. Mimikyu?
Really?
I hope you found something better out there.
Yeah, Mimikyu is Pokemon.
Okay, that's what he said, but I didn't know if I was saying it right.
The vault was built by an ancient civilization called the Zepho.
Ghost Electric, if I remember right.
But anyway,
something inside of it.
So like I'm all for preferred names because my name is Heaven, but I was not born Heaven. And if anyone calls me my dead name, I lose my fucking shit because I know people like to be
A long time ago.
addressed in certain ways. So
was a loner.
that's why I was so
the
adamant.
only ones that know about ghosts.
Hold on, wait a minute.
Huh?
What?
A holocron.
Okay.
It stores information, but
Mikey
only
said
accessible
ghost
to Jedi.
fairy type.
Hang on, I think I have one.
Ghost Fairy type? Oh, that's right. Which means that he also can host electric moves because of the fairy type Pokemon being capable of doing so.
Also, I apologize for talking this entire time.
No, you're good, you're good! It's sad that's not the original voice actor for Obi-Wan,
With that
but...
list of Force sensitives, we could rebuild the Jedi Order and defeat the Empire.
Okay, no problem. Let's get it.
Well, except the holocron is hidden deep inside the vault, and to get it, we have to follow Cordova's path. He mentioned something about the planet Dathomir and a Zepho homeworld.
Also, the drinking water helps me hiccups for inquiring minds.
Look,
I told you it works. What it is it's forcing all the
I
air
need to know something.
out of your stomach.
How come you're no longer a Jedi?
Interesting.
Because you're basically forcing yourself to stop breathing, which expands your air passage. And since your air passage and where the hiccups probably stored is down in your esophagus.
Is the best chance we have against the Empire. What do you believe?
Just start a new game on story mode. Trust me, it'll be worth it. If you're on story mode already, I'm sorry.
What difficulty were you playing, Mike?
Yeah, what difficulty were you playing?
We're in.
Dathomir Zepho. It's your choice.
Also, because I want to know, Mike
He was on normal, that's why.
Okay.
Just started on story mode. The damage output is about 5% of what you were taking already. Because I tried it on normal mode as well, and I had to swap over to story mode just because I wanted to experience it for the first time. And also you can adjust the difficulty at a later time. So if you're capable of creating a new Game Plus mode, you can start the new Game Plus on normal mode.
Also, because I want to know personally, how long do people generally like streams? Like, Mike's the only one commenting right now, but like...
Oh, also you can change BD.
Oh, that's cool. When
Yeah,
you're watching a live stream or later on when you're able to view streams after they've been streamed, how long do you like to be able to watch them? Or like, do you use it for background noise, things like that? Like, do you like them to stop at an hour, or would you prefer people continue on? Just things like that for just like our personal knowledge to know like what you guys personally like.
See, there's technically it's Eno Cordova's, but Eno Cordova was also one of Obi-Wan's mentors. But that's the in Clone Wars, that's the lightsaber tip that's used.
Mm.
Yeah. I don't know. I really...
Also, viewing it from the YouTube live portion of things, because I know even though you're like streaming it straight from your device, sometimes the quality won't translate as well. Like I know when you're streaming, what was it? Like Borderlands and things like that, the quality isn't quite as nice on like a phone stream.
Mostly I watch it for sort of a background noise. I actually watch from time to time to see what's happening.
So when it comes to background noise then, how long do you want it to go? Like if it's background noise, like do you just want it for an hour while you're cleaning, or do you want it for longer while you're trying to fall asleep type of thing? But as I was saying, for quality reasons, like personally I have noticed for like Borderlands or even like other games, the quality doesn't translate well onto phones. So for me, viewing this on my phone, the quality is almost exactly the same. So that's a plus for this game for sure.
To the studio preferred, which is what the company prefers the sound quality levels to be balanced to. So,
Mike, you're so not helpful, but I appreciate your input.
Well,
I get where you're coming from for sure. Cause if I'm gonna be here, I definitely want to see like playing around with light.
Yes.
Cause I like to talk and I'm narcissistic. So if I'm here, I'll definitely try to push stuff to go longer just to see like how it does.
I think next stream tomorrow, which will be this again, I think I should just push through instead of doing multiple games. I honestly think.
Yeah, no, like if we did like a longer 2 hour, 2.5 hour, just to see how it does, you know?
And then, like, during the week, I'll do my multiple different streams during the week, because you go to bed early.
Yeah. On weekends, I definitely stay up later, so, like, seeing just, like, from my side of things, being, like, living with Seth, all that stuff, just seeing how it does when there's another person there, and then seeing, like, when he cuts it shorter and it's just him, for our personal knowledge, seeing how that does. Because definitely with these streams, it's trial and error and seeing what does well. Not even for, like, progress purposes, just to see, you know? So I definitely think that's something we'll play with a lot.
You have no idea what a
Correct me if I'm wrong, but...
Not a clue. They seek things?
Yes.
You know,
They're Jedi find.
and I think definitely like another factor is me being here wanting to see more of the game is going to want you to play more because I'm like, ooh, but what happens?
Right.
You know?
It means I'm a seeker too.
I guess so.
Meh. What do you mean, meh?
He's talking about your insult, your response to his insult.
Oh.
Time to land. Get up here.
Sorry.
Yeah, I think it really does all depend on the streamer.
Yeah, it does.
Also, depending on the games that you play, because like I'm not playing high PvP base.
Yeah.
When I do those, I will be doing a lot shorter streams because I mean, PvP is the same shit. It's like it's just repetitive. So in a sense, like if I stream,
from my perspective, the reason why I'm asking all these questions is I'm just curious.
right?
Like that's it. I'm just curious.
Information purposes.
Yeah, I'm a fucking nerd, and so I just like I'm curious, and I literally research these type of things on my free time. So I apologize for all the questions, Mike, and I appreciate your responses. Truly, I'm just a nerd, so I like to know input and stuff.
Hey, Cordova mentioned something about peace in the eye of the storm. Well, I can just make out a settlement in the middle of it.
Then we have to get there.
Copy that.
But for real, the audio on this game is stellar.
Right. Star Wars games have always, even when it came to the Star Wars Battlefront games, the new ones that really were just averagely terrible for PvP purposes, like, I absolutely hated it compared to the old Battlefronts, and I think that's why they tried to take a new approach, which just fucking worked!
Yeah,
Anyway.
for sure. I think from what I've experienced of other Star Wars games,
I think he disappeared.
maybe the orchestral music is just like not my favorite in previous games.
Right.
It's gonna take me a minute to get them back
So
up.
this orchestral music for sure. Maybe
Also,
I
for Sergeant
harassed him
Cordova in the
away.
meantime.
Who knows?
Good.
If he's still there, I'm sorry.
It could also be the system itself doesn't recognize me as a chatter, so there's also another person in there.
Over here.
Also, I did want to let you know this is where I will be ending my stream. I just thought just dropping in some conversations and shit would be good to, you know, prolong it, but
I only knew that Cordova was obsessed with the Sith, believing their teachings to be important.
Hang on.
We are not expecting you to change your game's quality, by the way, Mike.
oh. You're not changing your game's difficulty. Got it.
Or
So you want to break a few more controllers. I completely understand.
Break
It's okay. They're just $60 a piece, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, he's got the money for it.
Who doesn't?
Okay, Mike. We get it. We get it. I
We
promise.
get it. We're not asking you to.
Although, I might be asking you just because I don't want to see you break any more controllers. But, if you have the hesitation to break a controller, just put it down and then go punch one of your roommates. It's okay. Physical violence is okay in this aspect. No. Okay. Anyways, I'm gonna end the stream here. There's a lot to do in this game. This game's got massive quantities of work to be done. I also have Death Stranding, which I don't think I'll be able to have Heaven jump in where I've already gone through, so in order for her to jump in and commentate on that game,
I might here and there. I've watched some gameplay, but it's not guaranteed.
because it is a very, very prolonged and strung out game. It's a lot of open world, so there's not a whole lot
So
of
if I
action
were
right off the
to
get-go.
jump in now, you guys would have to suffer, like the first episode I'm in, a lot of questions.
Yeah.
So I may be there, I may not, but I'll definitely be here for the Star Wars for
Right.
sure.
But as always, guys, I am TheFluffy, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye!